Hey everyone, this is Lady Empress with the Black Cherry Nut
Hello,
Ice Cream.
everyone. Welcome to my YouTube.
Hey everybody, this is Lady Empress, and I'm so glad you landed here on my page to learn about how to make this cherry nut ice cream. And I'm gonna tell you, you have to bear with me because during this video, I was making 2 double batches of ice cream. Okay, so one was the cherry nut ice cream, the other one was cherry Oreo. But what I actually recorded was the cherry nut process. If you would like the cherry Oreo process, just leave me a comment either here on TikTok and I'll make another batch just to make that happen for you. Now, here's a couple of things that you will need. You see, I showed you the vanilla extract as well as the imitation. You also are going to need 2/3 cups of sugar and you're going to need 3 egg yolks. I will be showing in this video how to get your egg yolks to separate it from the whites. Now, you saw the sugar go into those egg yolks. You also will need 2 cups of heavy cream. Okay, and that's what I'm showing you here. And then you're gonna need 1 cup of whole milk. Okay. For this recipe, you also will need a 1/2 cup of pecan halves, and you will need 1.5 cups of fresh cherries, and those are to be pitted as you see here. I took the time to pit each individual cherry, and then we were off and on our way. Okay. Your 2 cups of heavy cream will be combined with your 1 cup of whole milk. And that's what you see me showing you here. So the whole milk, and it doesn't matter what brand, you want to get that on the stove. But before that, here's how you can divide your egg whites from your egg yolks. And I took the time to do this and put it in here as a clip just to show an easier way, because not all people know that the egg white, you can, because the shell of the egg is attracted to the yolk, you can definitely just cut that egg white off of the yolk, and it's like 1, 2, 3, and you're done. Once you add that 2/3 cups of sugar to your egg yolks, you want to mix that up until it starts to turn pale. Once you first start, it's going to look like scrambled eggs, okay? This is a process. Hey, we're making ice cream here. So you want to keep on going and mixing and mixing. I want to say I maybe had this blender, this hand mixer on maybe medium to medium high, and for starters, until the color started to change, and you can visually see that here. It's going from that yellow color to a pale color. That is what you want your egg yolks and sugar to turn into, and you want to just whip that until fluffy. Now, the ingredients that I gave you, the 2 cups of heavy cream and the 1 cup of whole milk, that is just for one recipe of ice cream. Now, mind you, I told you here in this video that I was making 2 batches of each ice cream. So I had to really chop this up because I had multiple things going at one time. But people on TikTok were wanting this recipe. So I took the time to go through, and it took me a little while. I know I told you guys that the video would be up the weekend, and it's been a little while. I apologize. I plan to do better at that. But you see, we have that on the stove here. And then you just stir it up together. And you want to make sure that heat is about on medium high for your custard mixture. Yep, we're making custard, y'all. Set your timer at about 7 minutes and press start and let it start simmering. You want that to simmer, and you see how those egg yolks and the sugar is looking quite fluffy. Now here we go. You see how that simmered? That's what you want to see, where it's kind of like an oily substance that separates on the top. You want to stir that up and go ahead and turn it off. You see how that looks like much more than what was in the pot when we first started. That's because, again, I was making double batches here. So I had to piece together what you needed to see for a single batch. And that's just for clarity of understanding of making ice cream for, a small family. As everyone know, we have a much larger family. Now here I'm showing how I added some pecans to the cherries that I stuck in the blender just to puree. And I'm going to show you that step as well. And I speeded the video up here and then slowed it down a tad bit so that you can see how the mixture looked that we were blending up in the blender. Now, this was for the cherry nut ice cream, not cherry pecan, because it's not like you're going to see the pecans all through it, but your ice cream will definitely have a nutty taste. Now here we're moving back over to the egg yolks and sugar and adding our vanilla extract in there. And you see we used about a full teaspoon inside of there. Now we're pouring off the milk and the cream mixture that was on the stove, just to make sure we didn't have any egg particles. Because what you have to do is, once you heat the cream, the heavy cream and your whole milk on the stove for 7 minutes, then you have to temper that, okay? Because when you turn it off, it's going to be hot. You see the smoke coming from the spoon? You want to temper that. Tempering is adding just a little bit of mixture to an egg mixture so that you make sure that you don't cook those eggs. And I did that at 3 large kitchen spoons a piece. And I want to say I did that about 2 or 3 times. And when you're using a glass or Pyrex bowl, as you see me holding it to touch, you will be able to see just how much that mixture has heated up the other mixture that's in there. And then you want to stir. You want to keep it moving because you don't want scrambled eggs inside of ice cream. And you see how thick that is? It's going to thin out really good. We're going to add some more over in here. 1, 2, and then a third one. And this is our second time tempering. Make sure that you temper your mixture when you're adding something hot from the stove over to a mixture that you have eggs in, to prevent scrambled eggs. A lot of people will take the substance and, after you go ahead and temper them, as you see me getting ready, and that pan was really hot, getting ready to pour that over into the eggs mixture after I got my hands situated right. You'll see some people will pour over into a strainer after you put this back on the stove, because once you mix this up, as you see I'm doing, it has to go back in that pot on the stove to make sure that mixture is heated thoroughly and that it thickens up accordingly. Now, you can take the liberty to add to pour it through a strainer after it comes off to make sure you have no egg particles in there. But I find if you use this method that I just showed you, I don't have any egg products or leftover or scrambled eggs in my mixture. And you see me touching the bowl there to see if it's too hot to touch. And I just got ready to get it on back over there in the pot You know, I like to get all the nooks and crannies when I'm mixing cakes, pies, whatever type of dessert I'm making. I love homemade desserts. I'm not really a candy person, but I definitely love baked goods. So now you see this complete mixture is poured back over into the pot on the stove. We will be turning this on again to about medium heat because the other mixture cooled it down. While that's going, I'm going to show you how I pureed the cherries. The cut cherries that I pitted, I just placed them into my blender and I want to say I divided it up at 1 cup, 1.5 cups apiece, because I had a total of 3 pounds of cherries. So it was about 1.5 cups that I put in here to puree, that you saw earlier in the video that I added the pecan halves to make that mixture. And I just slowed it down here so that you can see how that mixture pulses, because you want to make sure your puree does still have like some of the cherry skin left on there. I mean, what's the use in eating cherry ice cream if you can't see that it was made with real cherries, right? And for those who are wondering, no, these cherries were not grown here. We got them from our favorite place, Namdi Nam, one of the fruit markets here in Georgia. And as you can see, this mixture I'm showing is the chocolate mixture, the Oreo cookie with cherries. And this you see here is the cherry nut mixture that I'm pouring over into the mixture that came off of the stove that had the eggs in it. Now, next to that, you'll see another pot, another container with eggs, and that's because I was making another batch of ice cream. So just try to pay no attention to that and pay attention to what I'm actually physically doing in the video, which is adding the cherry nut mixture to the egg and milk and cream mixture. And I'm going to mix that up so that we can get ready to take it on over to the ice cream maker. Okay. And again, there'll be a list of everything that I used, including this ice cream maker, so that if you want to go and see if you can grab one on Amazon or what have you, and all of the other products that I got. Of course, you want to go to your local fruit market if you don't grow any of these fruits yourself. And look at, voila, the ice cream. You're going to use this mixture with some ice cream salt, and you're going to need a bag of ice that goes around the sides of it. And look at that. Doesn't that look good, y'all? It comes out soft serve, but you're going to put that in a closed, tight container, as you saw me putting it in, and throw it in your freezer overnight. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.